Welcome back, my YouTube channel CoinZF. Today's video is going to take you deep into the world of Philippine numismatics as we explore one of the most discussed, debated, and fascinating coins ever produced in Southeast Asia, the 1976 Philippine One-Peso coin. A coin that some collectors claim could reach an unbelievable value of $568,280 million under highly unique conditions. Whether that number sounds unbelievable or intriguing to you, stay with me, because today we're going to uncover every corner of this story. You are watching CoinZF, the place where we explore rare coins, hidden treasures, and multi-million-dollar collectibles that could be hiding right inside your pocket. So get comfortable, because the next 36 minutes will take you on an incredible journey. Let's begin with the introduction to this legendary coin. The 1976 Philippine One-Peso coin comes from a period when the country was modernizing its currency and strengthening national identity through new designs and new minting standards. The obverse of the coin features the profile of Jose Rizal, the national hero whose ideas shaped the vision of freedom and education in the Philippines. The reverse side shows the official seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas from that era, presenting the national symbols with simplicity and clarity. At first glance, the coin looks ordinary, but like many treasures in the collecting world, the extraordinary value hides beneath the surface. Collectors often search for key signs of rarity. For the 1976 One-Peso coin, the first indicator is the year itself. Some years, especially from the mid-1970s, were minted in much lower quantities compared to neighboring years. Although millions were produced for circulation, only a tiny number survived in extremely high-grade conditions. This is important because extreme values are never based on normal circulated coins. Instead, values jump astronomically when the coin is a proof strike, an uncirculated mint error, a double-die variety, or a coin preserved in near-perfect condition for decades. Now let's talk about why some collectors attach massive values like $568,280 million. This number doesn't come from the general market. It is based on the belief that certain ultra-rare combinations can push the value of a coin into an almost mythical range. For example, if a 1976 One-Peso coin were discovered with a misaligned die strike combined with a mirror-like finish, plus certification at the highest recognized grade, some collectors argue it could break world records. Even though these numbers are theoretical, the possibility alone fuels popularity, speculation, and massive attention toward this coin. Now let's break down the factors that add unusual value to this particular One-Peso coin. First is condition, known in the grading world as grade. Coins that still shine as if they were minted yesterday, without scratches, without fingerprints, without dull spots, immediately gain interest from investors and numismatic professionals. Second is the presence of errors. The 1976 Philippine One-Peso series has known examples of off-center strikes, doubled inscriptions, and planchet defects. These errors, when sharp and dramatic, can multiply a coin's price exponentially. Third is rarity linked to preservation. Even though millions were minted, very few people in 1976 thought these coins would ever become collectibles. As a result, they were used daily, worn down, and eventually replaced. That makes high-quality survivors remarkably rare. As we continue, let's look at the history behind the One-Peso coin. During the mid-1970s, the Philippines was undergoing major political and economic transitions. The currency design change during this era was meant to make the national currency more secure, more modern, and more symbolic of Filipino identity. Jose Rizal was chosen intentionally as the face of the peso because his image represented unity, independence, and the intellectual spirit of the Filipino people. Every detail of the design carries meaning. The lines of Risol's portrait represent integrity and resilience. The national seal on the reverse symbolizes sovereignty and pride. When a coin carries national meaning, even small production variations become historically significant, which in turn increases collector interest. Another aspect that boosts attention is the increasing global demand for Asian collectible coins. Over the past 2 decades, auctions in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Dubai have shown record-breaking sales for rare Asian currencies. Collectors from Europe, America, and the Middle East have also entered the market in search of rare Philippine coins because of their strong historical background and limited high-grade availability. Whenever global demand rises, value speculation rises too, and the 1976 1-peso coin is one of the coins that benefit from this trend. Imagine this scenario. Someone find a 1976 Philippine 1-peso coin that remained untouched for nearly 50 years. It still looks like a freshly minted piece. The lines are crisp, the surface is flawless, and the minting stroke extremely sharp. Then imagine that the coin is examined under magnification and found to contain an unusual die variety. Then the coin is sent for grading and receives a perfect or near-perfect score. A coin like that instantly becomes a once-in-a-generation discovery. Even though these finds are extremely rare, they are not impossible. And that possibility is what keeps the value speculation alive. Let's move into how collectors examine the coin. A serious collector will first observe the luster. Luster is the light reflection on the surface of the coin, and it tells a story about how well the coin was preserved. Next, the collector looks at the strike. A strong strike means all the details of Risol's hair, facial features, and clothing are sharply imprinted. Weak strikes lower the coin's appeal. Then comes the inspection of lettering. Misaligned letters, doubled letters, or unusual spacing can reveal mint errors that elevate the value. Lastly, collectors examine the reverse. The seal should be centered, the lines should be crisp, and all minor symbols should be clearly visible. Now let's talk about how these coins reach claim values in the hundreds of millions or even billions. These extreme figures often emerge from private collector groups, rare error coin auctions, and speculative markets where investors compete for unique pieces that might never appear again. In rare cases, emotional value also affects price. If a coin carries deep national significance, wealthy collectors may go to great lengths to secure it. The Philippines has a large global community, including millions of Filipinos living abroad, and many of them collect old Philippine coins as a connection to their homeland. This emotional connection becomes a powerful market force. Let's move into the storytelling part of this 36-minute journey. Imagine a Filipino family preserving a 1976 1-peso coin as a memory of a grandparent. That coin sits in a wooden box for decades, untouched. Generations pass, and one day, someone opens the box and discovers the coin, still shining like new. They take it to a collector, and the collector's eyes widen with excitement. Tests are done, tools are used, magnification is applied, and suddenly the coin is identified as an extremely rare variety. Within days, interest grows. Offers arrive. Auction houses contact the owner. And before long, the coin's value skyrockets into a number no one ever imagined. Stories like this, even if rare, show why coins can become priceless treasures. Now let's explore what makes Jose Rizal such an iconic figure that even a coin with his portrait can attract massive collector attention. Rizal was not just a national hero. He was a writer, a thinker, a doctor, and a visionary. His works inspired a revolution. His ideas changed a nation, and his influence lives on today. When a coin carries the face of a hero of such magnitude, the value automatically carries emotional and symbolic weight. Collectors often choose coins featuring important historical icons because they represent something greater than metal. They represent legacy. The 1976 1-peso coin is also part of a transition series. Earlier Philippine coins looked different and used different metal compositions. By the mid-1970s, the composition was changing, the minting methods were modernizing, and the country was preparing for the next wave of currency evolution. Transitional years often produce rare varieties because prototypes, early strikes, and experimental dies sometimes enter circulation. These coins become extremely valuable when they surface many years later. Now, as we continue the second half of this 36-minute script, let's focus on error types that could theoretically push the coin into the ultra-high value range. The first error is a double die obverse. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is improperly aligned during production, causing letters, numbers, or portrait features to appear doubled. Collectors love these. Next is a broad strike error, where the coin expands outward due to missing collar pressure. Then there is the off-center strike, where the coin is not perfectly aligned under the die. If the image is dramatically off-center, but the date remains visible, the value increases significantly. Another important error is a clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin's metal is missing in a perfect circular bite. Such coins look unique and are highly collectible, though we also need to talk about proof-like and specimen coins. Proof-like coins have mirror-sharp surfaces reflecting light like a polished plate. Specimen coins are specially produced with extra care, even though they are not official proofs. If a 1976 1-peso coin exists in a specimen finish combined with a rare error, collectors could attach extraordinary values to it. Now let's talk about why the year 1976 matters historically. This was the year when the Philippines celebrated major national milestones, strengthening patriotism and cultural identity. Many coins produced in commemorative years become more valuable over time, especially when preserved perfectly. Some collectors believe that certain 1976 coins were part of special releases or limited run sets, and these pieces, if rediscovered, could command huge prices. Now let's turn to how people can check their own 1976 1-peso coins. Start by placing the coin under strong light. Tilt it slowly and observe how the light flows across the surface. Are there scratches? Does the coin shine evenly? Next, inspect the edges. A perfect, sharp edge often means the coin was not heavily circulated. Then check the date. Make sure the numbers are crisp and not flattened. After that, use a magnifying glass to inspect small details, especially around the eyes of Rizal, the hairline, and the lettering. If anything looks doubled, misplaced, or unusually sharp, you might have a special variety. Now let's enter the final stretch of the video. The massive value claims surrounding this coin also come from the excitement of collectors who love the thrill of finding something rare. When a coin rises to legendary status, its price becomes more than metal and rarity. It becomes a symbol of hope, luck, and discovery. People around the world dream of finding a forgotten treasure in an old box, inside a drawer, or in a jar of mixed change. The 1976 Philippine One-Peso coin is one of those coins that ignites imagination. Now let's add a scenario for audience engagement. Imagine you're watching this video, and you suddenly remember that your grandparents kept old Philippine coins in a purse somewhere. After this video, you go look for it. You open the purse and find a 1976 1-peso coin inside. You feel excited. You clean your hands carefully, pick up the coin with a soft cloth, and inspect it closely. For a moment, you imagine it could be the rare piece everyone is talking about. That's the power of numismatics. Coins connect the past to the present. They carry stories, memories, and national identity. As we conclude, remember that the true market value of any coin depends on rarity, condition, demand, and certification. But the value we discussed today reflects the highest speculative claims based on exceptional conditions. Whether or not such a coin will ever appear, the thrill of the hunt makes collecting exciting. The 1976 Philippine One-Peso coin remains one of the most talked about coins in the collecting community. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more rare coin stories, make sure to stay connected with Coins ZF. Your support helps